Hey everybody, welcome back. Today on the channel, we are going to be doing some refactoring. So on the last stream, I had shown the command, quickly had shown the commands that I'd built to add new vendors, but there was a bunch of duplication of effort and it wasn't super user-friendly. And so what I want to do today is I want to basically make one single Artisan command in Laravel that does everything, that finds the sitemap, that starts pulling up the jobs, adds it to the vendors table, all that stuff. And so it should basically be as simple as giving a vendor name and a URL, and that's it. Everything else should just kind of happen by magic, assuming it's a Shopify shop. Because the Shopify shops are so prevalent, that's by far the lowest hanging fruit. And so we're going to tackle those kind of in general first, and then we can go off to the more one-off e-commerce sites after we've kind of really nailed down the Shopify type shops. So why are we doing this? We shouldn't need multiple commands to do kind of the same thing or partially the same thing. We basically want to have one simple command that does everything for us. Yeah, like I said, we would just want to give it the name and the URI. And then also I wanted to kind of show off the fact that we have a very simple landing page now and a new Discord. So if you go to thoc.gg, we now have this beautiful landing page that was designed by Rapid, and it has a link to our Discord. So you can hop over there if you want to join. I won't be on there on stream, but we'll be adding more rooms and more functionality to that as time goes on. So yeah, come join us over there. So with that all out of the way, I think we should just kind of dive into what we're going to be doing. So specifically, we're going to create a single command that pulls the fixture data for testing. And the reason we're doing this is we want to make sure that as we're adding new sites, that our tests are still accurate for each site that we're pulling in. So the idea being that if Shopify decides to change some of their structures of the data, whether it's on the LD-JSON in the HTML or if it's at the JSON endpoint, this will give us a quick way to find that out, because what we're doing is we're literally taking a copy of that and storing it locally and then running our tests across all of the stores that we know for all those copies of products that we've downloaded. So the first thing it should do is automatically choose the product sitemap, so we don't have to go find it manually. It should assume the site's base URI and just append sitemap.xml to it, and then find the sitemap products1.xml and with the from and to query strings. It's going to take that data, it's going to save it to the test data file. We're going to write a function to read all of the Shopify data sets that we download. And then we're going to update the data set with that to use the function to import those all. We're going to update the seeder so that when we reseed the database, all of those will automatically get injected. And then it'll actually run the seeder to add the vendor table and start crawling those sites. So actually, we'll just make this a separate one just to make sure we're super clear that there's no ands in these. Runs the seeder to add the vendor to the table and then start crawling. So some of this we already have. So some of the fixture data we can just pull from this fetch test data from store command. So let's hop into the command and see what we've got. So fetch data from store. So I don't want to say it's ugly, but it's not super clean. So we're gonna pull some of this and we're gonna get rid of some of the other stuff. So let's make a new command. So make command, and we're gonna call this. You know what? I think actually what I'm gonna do before we do that is I'm gonna delete this old add Shopify store. Yeah, we're going to rename this to add Shopify store 2, just so that it's not conflicting. And then we're going to pull some logic out of there as well. So add Shopify store. Okay, so now we can go to this Shopify store and we will put that there. And so now what we can do is first get rid of some of this boilerplate. And so we're going to get rid of this. Oops. And we're going to say store Shopify. This is add Shopify store to vendors. So the first thing that we're going to want is the name of the site. And actually, you know what? We should probably do this by TDD. So let's do that. So art make test add Shopify store test. And we will, now I'm curious actually, now that I say that out loud, if with Laravel prompts, if we can do this. So let's take a look. Laravel prompts. And terminal considerations. Let's see, is there a way to test? This could be interesting. Fallback conditions. Well, we'll try this and we'll see how it goes. So let's go to add Shopify store test, and we will say it creates a vendor with the provided name. So expect, so I guess we're probably gonna have to go something like this. So this Artisan store Shopify. And I think we can still pass in arguments. We'll just call this store name. So we want to expect that vendor first name to be store name. At the end of the day, that's really what we're looking for, is that, at least in this test, is that, and of course we can import it. Vendor, there we go. Failed. Command store Shopify does not exist. Okay, so we should save this. Write it. Command store Shopify does not exist. I would suggest that it does, unless this is also no. So why is that failing? Store Shopify. Command store Shopify does not exist. Am I doing this wrong? Store Shopify should be exactly the same. Okay, let's see. There are no commands defined in the store namespace. Well, it's definitely not showing up there, so I'm curious why that is. I wonder if it's a protected name. say Shopify ad. Does that one show up? Shopify add store, that's the other command that I have. So why are, no, closer dump auto load. Still nothing. Oh, you know what I bet it is? This needs to change to, I need to add 2 there. Because otherwise it's basically 2 classes with the same name. And so that one just happens to take priority. And so now, betcha, yeah, Shopify ad. Okay. So let's go back to what it was. Store Shopify. So now, okay, so okay, that's good. So the first thing we're going to need to do is pass in the name again. We'll say story. No, we definitely don't want to run it. Okay, it's still going to fail. Name argument does not exist. Okay, so there's got to be a way with Artisan or with commands to pass in what do they call them? It's like when you're expecting package development. No, that's not what I want. Commands, writing commands. This is what I want. Okay, so if we go to the top and then to I think it's prompting. So there's like a registering call. There's a way where it's like when you look for it to ask for some text, and when it's given, then you can pass that in. So testing, console tests. Okay, so success, failure, expectations, input, output. Yeah, so this is, so it, using expects question method. So Artisan expects question. Okay, so we should be able to do this. Expects question. Enter the name of the store, the vendor. Okay, so too few arguments. One expects question. Oh, okay, and so we got to pass it something. Okay. Name. Enter the name of the vendor was not asked. Okay, perfect. So if we go, so name equals text, and that is the prompts text. Cool. So enter the name of the vendor. Fine. Attempt to read property name on null. Okay. And now this is where we will go to the other Shopify test. Sorry, the other Shopify command. Add Shopify store 2. And we'll basically just yank this whole thing because this is effectively what we want. And we will put that here. Okay, that's fine. We'll never get used to that. So what is it? It is enter the name of the vendor. Okay, what is the URI? Unexpected question, what is the URI of the homepage? Okay, that's fine. So I'm curious, can we just not worry about those? Apparently not. Okay, so we're gonna have to change this to with the provided details. And we're gonna say store name is store URI equals example.com. And this expects question, enter this the URI of the homepage. Okay. Unexpected question. Okay, good, because we don't want this. What we want to do is this is where we're going to add our logic to go get the site, the correct product specific sitemap. So, sitemap URI equals, so go get product specific sitemap URI. Now we can, add that. So we're going to have this a public function of get product specific sitemap. Yep. And it is going to take the website URI. It's going to return a string. And so we're going to say base sitemap equals website URI. And let's parse this to make sure that we're getting a real URI. So parse URL, website URI, yes. Actually, let's go like this. Sitemap, website parts. We're going to say sitemap URI, and not any of that. Sitemap. Yes, that's what we want. Okay, so now we have the sitemap, and we can use our sitemap parser. So we can say sitemap equals new sitemap parser. Yep, and we will say sitemap parse sitemap URI. And so what do we get out of that? Sitemap. Because what I'm thinking about is still passing untyped arrays into PHP method. Where do you see arrays into untyped, like untyped arrays? Oh, that's just, so this is like it's just a Laravel convention for creating a data model. It's like it's technically untyped, but you can type it if you want. It's just I guess the convention. I don't know how else to describe it. Like if we go to like the actual model, can we get to the model? It's going to be illuminate. Model pruning. Where is the actual model? Yeah, like, so this is just the Laravel way of making new models, I guess. I don't know, like you could probably type into it, I guess, like this, but it's just each property has to map to a database property that is assigned on the model. So like if we go to our vendor, like it has all the properties that can be set. Like in the fillable here. So like you can't just go and add random things. Like it's extending this model class that that's just I guess the way Laravel makes it. Yeah, like it's not like you can't just throw random things in there and just expect it to work. Like there is a kind of just like generally accepted Laravel structure that goes into creating the model like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is like PHP 8 is much better than PHP 5 for sure. Okay. All right. So we got to do the website URI. And so let's just go like this and say art. What do we say? Store Shopify. We'll call it, I don't know, test, and we'll call it, just see what we get back here. Okay. So does it give us, what does it give us here? Sitemaps. Okay. So can you say this key is an int and the other is a string? So those are typed on, not here. Like you could, like if I wanted to say, like, if I wanted to enforce that this is a string, like I can do string like that, and that this is a string here like that. If you really want to be explicit about it. But if like when you're creating the model, if so when we create, so here, let me just open the, this is the vendor table. So when it goes to try and make it, like we've already typed the actual database schema. So you can't, like if you try to pass it the wrong type, it will fail. Like, so if I try and set this as, not on a database level, at a PHP level, it'll say, like, you know, if you try and pass like an array to this, for example, right? Like it'll give like an array to string conversion failure at the PHP level. Yeah. But yeah, good questions. I understand that a lot of people don't like PHP for reasons of the past, but things have definitely gotten better with like PHP, I guess 7 and now 8 kind of thing. Yeah, it's so much better than it used to be. Okay, so we have a list of sitemaps in this sitemaps property here. So what we'll do is we'll basically now iterate through each of them and find the one with the key. Hey Jafars, how's it going? The one with a key that has products1 in it, sitemap products1.xml in it, because they all follow the same pattern. And then the loc of actually, I guess it doesn't really matter. It's already in there. So that's all we really care about. So let's go like this. So now the way Shopify structures their XML or sitemap XMLs, almost always the sitemap products is on the top, but we can't just assume that. I think they do it for SEO purposes, but I'm not going to make that assumption. So we're still going to loop through the list of responses that it gets back. It'll almost always be the first one. So we'll only be doing one lookup kind of thing, and then we're done. But just for clarity, that's why I'm doing a for each, is just, even though it's almost certainly going to be the first one, I want to make sure that we're not making a bad assumption. So for each, sitemap, sitemaps as, actually, so let's go like this. We're going to call this base sitemap. Base sitemap, and then base sitemaps as sitemap. A lot of sitemaps in there. Okay, so as sitemap, I guess data, whatever. So we're going to say if sitemap, string sitemap contains sitemap products products1.xml. Okay, Jafar is asking that Shopify means an API for making an e-commerce app. I still, yeah. So, okay. So I'll give you a little backstory on what this site is for. Thok.gg is a site we're building. Rapid and I are building that will scrape as many e-commerce shops as we can find online that stock mechanical keyboard parts. As a very new person to this hobby, I found it really, really difficult to find things that were actually in stock. And so what I decided was like, I'm going to build an app that we can make it easier for newbies who might not know exactly what they're looking for to find things that are in stock, because a lot of the mechanical keyboard stuff is kind of like single run manufacturing. So like they make it once and then it's just gone again. And so you have these shops that have like 500 products, but they're all out of stock. And so it's really disheartening to like continually go through shop after shop after shop and never actually finding anything in stock. So we're building kind of an aggregator of as many shops as we can find. And it'll scrape those sites every day or whatever to keep track of what's in stock, so that a newbie can just kind of start typing in like purple keycaps and just return all of the purple keycaps stuff. So it's not quite an e-commerce app. We're going to be sending people to the Shopify shop that has that part. But we just want to kind of corral all this information into one specific place. And then we have ideas for other future features kind of thing, like this idea where you'll be able to take those parts that you're searching for and build like a mock build of like, I want these switches and I'll get them from this store. And I want these keycaps and I'll get them from that store. And I want this case and I'll get it from this store, and I want these switches and I'll get it from this store. And then you can kind of share them online and kind of critique them and that kind of stuff. But for right now, the base idea for the site is just get the information so that we can get people the right information as quick as possible. If that contains that, then we're going to say products sitemap equals nothing. Actually, we're going to make this null. And we're going to say products sitemap equals sitemap. And then we can say, we're going to say, how do we want to do this? We're going to say product sitemap URI. Yeah, product sitemap URI. Products sitemap URI equal. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Products sitemap URI. Products sitemap URI. Oh my goodness. Equals new sitemap parser. And then we're going to say products sitemap parse product sitemap URI. We're going to wrap this in an if so that we're only doing this if we actually have a URI. Okay, so, and then we're going to say else this error could not find product sitemap. Okay, so for right now, we're just going to dump this out just to make sure it's going to work. So we're going to say dd product sitemap and clear that. Key.com. Okay, so where did it fail? Cannot access property sitemaps. Okay, so that's not a thing. So, I could use the sitemap parser from above, but I want to make it super clear that this is a new thing. And because of how rare this is going to be operating, I'm not worried about like resource exhaustion or whatever. If I wanted to, be super performance minded about it, that's fine. But like this is, it's only going to be running like once, or this command is only going to run once per store kind of thing, and it's going to be like in the context of like someone's actually typing this stuff in. Like you're never going to be automating the adding of a store, at least using this command anyways, right? So I'm not super concerned about performance. Okay, so okay, so let's go back here for a second. Base sitemap. Okay, so what am I doing wrong here? Sitemap parser. Okay, so get URLs is not what I want. Get sitemaps. Get sitemaps. Oops. Key.com. Okay. So what do we do here? DD products sitemap. Okay, cool. So we're getting all the product URLs now. That's awesome. Okay, so what we can do is now we can, so we verified we have the sitemap correctly, which is awesome. And so we can actually just return that URI. We don't actually need the products. We just wanted to make sure that we have one. If product sitemap URI, and actually we can just, don't even need to do this. We can just, we can just return sitemap. Let's go. Cool. Okay, so we now should be able to, if we go like this. So if we say this property name is to be store name, yep. And what is the other thing we're looking for? The website URI. Website URI to be store URI. Enter the URI of the home page was asked. Enter the URI. Oh. Okay. Unable to fetch URL contents. Okay, that's fine because we need to mock out the HTTP stuff. HTTP facade, we want to fake it. And we also want to prevent stray requests. Okay, so this is going to fail, but for a different reason now. Unable to fetch URL contents. Oh, right, because... okay, that sucks. Because the Guzzle instance that the sitemap parser is using is not using the HTTP facade, which is unfortunate. Okay, so can we fake this out? Probably not, at least not with my skill level. So how can we do this? Can we base sitemap? Okay, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to be really lazy about this. So we are going to how do we want to do this? Sitemap contents equals HTTP get sitemap URI get. Okay, and then we are going to what does the sitemap look like again? Sorry. Okay, so we're going to do some regex stuff here. So we're going to say product sitemap equals preg match, and so the pattern is going to be do we need to escape that one? I think we do. Loc HTTPS go like this and make it less escapey. That with a sitemap products 1.xml. And we actually want to wrap that all. Man, my regex skills are a little rusty here. Okay, so all that, because we want the whole thing, and then dot star to the end of the loc tag. And so this is going to be the product sitemap, and that actually needs to be body, not get. Matches are going to go into DD matches. See how bad I messed that up. It's going to be bad, but that's okay. Whatever. dynamically.com. Okay, undefined variable product sitemap. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sitemap contents. Sitemap contents. Cool. All right, so matching group number 1 is what we want. So we can just D return matches 1. Shopify store. Don't care about that right now. Okay, so in theory, enter the URI of the homepage. Oh, right, we're gonna have to fake this out with a. Okay, so we're gonna have to get a fake sitemap. And let's go to our tests. Under fixtures. And we're going to say Shopify sitemap, base sitemap. No, it should just be sitemap.xml. We're going to replace dynamically.com with example.com. And so we expect to get this back. Expected equals okay, so yeah, so if we give it example.com, what we want it to come back with is the expected sitemap. Actually, no, okay, I guess this is going to be start URI. And the, what did we call it? Is it just stock ID sitemap URI? Okay. Expect sitemap URI to be expected. Cool. Okay, so this is definitely going to fail, but that's okay because we're going to fake it out in a second here. Undefined array key 1. Yep. Okay, so what we're going to say is when you look for https example.com/sitemap.xml, what we're really going to give you back is an HTTP response of file get contents of get current working directory of tests fixtures, Shopify, sitemap.xml. Okay, does that make sense? Example.com, sitemap.xml should give us that response. I believe that's correct. Cool, we have a working test. So now we have proved that at least if we give it the right website URL, it's going to find the correct sitemap, which is kind of what I'm looking for right now. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is now that we have the URI of the homepage, we want to also okay, actually, let's go back to our checklist. Okay, so it pulls the fixture data for testing. We have not even done that part yet. So automatically choose the product sitemap. Done that part. Assume the site's base URI. Yes. Look for sitemap. Okay, so this part is done, but we now have to actually pull the fixture data, and we can pull this from our other test. So what do we want to say? So it creates a vendor with the provided details. Yes. Now test when adding a new vendor, test data is saved to disk. And so this is going to be us pulling an actual copy of the XML file. So we're going to want, let's make a list of the things we want. So we're going to need a copy of the actual product XML, product sitemap. Copy of the product sitemap. Oh my God. Okay. Copy of an example product HTML. Copy of an example product JSON. Okay, so why is my keyboard doing this? Okay, so what do we want to do here? We want to, again, run the store Shopify. And so actually what we're going to do is we're going to extract this stuff. This store name, this store URI, this store URI be this. Cool. Okay, so now we can access that stuff, and we can also, we can actually yank this stuff. Oh, no, we can't. Okay, so we can copy it, but we can't yank it and put it in the for each because it has some expectations on there that we want to have specific for this one. So we're going to yank that and paste it, and then, hey, Rapid. Yeah, it's going good. We've got the first test going. It's creating the correct vendor. Now we're just working on making sure that when we add a vendor, it's going to save all the fixture data to our test suite so that going forward, as we add more vendors, we'll make sure it'll kind of be a passive test that'll also tell us if the JSON formatting of Shopify stores have changed too, which is good. So we can delete this. Okay, so I guess this is going to have to be. We're going to have to do the whole thing. Okay, so actually, we can paste this in here. And we can delete these. Okay, so okay, so at this point we've created the vendor. Okay, so we are going to we also want to expect now I'm going to have to check on how PHP can actually PHP check if file exists. Oh, just file exists. Okay. So expect file exists. This store name.xml. Okay, so not quite that, but close. So we're going to say get cwd tests. dot stir this store name in title case, no, slug case, dot slash sitemap.xml. Okay, so we want to be true. Okay, so of course this is going to fail if we run it because it's not making that right now. That's fine. Okay, so copy the product's HTML. So we're just going to duplicate this. And we're going to make paste. Because what we want is we want to say the slug, and then there's going to be a product.json and a product.html file. Cool. So again, this is going to fail because we're not actually getting any of that right now. What we can do is get product specific sitemap URI. So now we're going to add a new function, and we're going to say this store vendor data. What do we want to say? Vendor data, fixture data. Store vendor fixture data. Okay. And we're going to pass in this as the vendor. Function store vendor fixture data. So I'm going to take again a vendor. And for right now, we won't return anything. So we have the vendor. We know it's sitemap URI now, and so we can. How do we want to do this? Is there a file name or directory? Okay, perfect. So if not file exists, get, actually let's make this better to read. Path equals get cwd dot slash tests dot string of the vendor name slug. Why did that do that? Okay, I think we probably have to append a slash to make sure that it's a folder. So we want to say no. Okay, so if not file exists path, then we want to, there's a make dir function, so we can say make dir path. Okay, so now we know the folder exists, and we can go say this fetch product sitemap to the path. Do we need anything else? No, I don't think we do. We can say function fetch product sitemap. I don't think we need to return anything there either for now. We want to say HTTP guess sitemap contents equals HTTP. Oh, and we're going to need the vendor. Darn. Get. This is not going to work for a moment. That's okay. Vendor sitemap URI. Body. So now we can say file put contents path dot sitemap products one.xml. Yeah, actually I do like that better because then it makes it clear that that's what that is. Sitemap products one.xml. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this should now hold true because, oh no, if we say https example.com/sitemap Shopify, and this should be what did we call the store? Is it just test? Test store. So it should be test store. Okay, so it should fail on the second one here now. Looks like a single quoted string, location 9. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now we test data is saved. Failed to open stream, no such file or directory. Okay, so what are we doing wrong here? Path. Oh, because we're not putting the, hold on. Path first, or is it the contents first? File put contents, file name. Okay, so it is the file name first, path / sitemap products XML, and then the sitemap contents. Let's say dd sitemap. File get contents. Fixtures test store. Oh, right, because man, this has been one of those days. Okay, so we actually want to go now to the product sitemap here, and we want to copy the whole thing. And if we say fixtures tests fixtures store sitemap products 1.xml. Will that work? No. Pardon me. Okay, so test store. Oh. XML. Okay. Of course. Okay. Just close these. So in a perfect world, this is going to get past the first one. Attempted to request without a matching fake. Okay. Oh yeah, I probably didn't do a star. Okay. Cool. We have a sitemap. Now it should fail on the second one. Okay. Line 34. Okay, so why did it not create that file? Failed asserting that false is true. Output contents. So why is that not working? Path, sitemap. Let's go. Sitemap. Path equals sitemap folder dot sitemap products XML, and then we can get rid of this to be sitemap path. And then we can what is it spitting out there? So test fixtures, test store, sitemap products 1.xml. Okay, so that should be correct. Tests fixtures. Test fixtures, test store, sitemap products 1.xml. Okay, so it should be going there. Shopify store. I'm going to close this because we don't really need it anymore. So file put contents, sitemap path, sitemap contents. File book contents on the path. I'm curious, is it putting those files there? No, it's definitely not. Field starting the false is true. Yeah, I kind of believe you because I don't see the file there. I do see it there. Okay. So if we run this again, field starting the false is true. Okay, so then we're just looking at the wrong path because that is definitely there. So, let's go take a look. Tests, fixtures, test store, fixtures, test store. So this should already be run. Expect file exists. Yeah, before this test is run, the Artisan command should have already run and grabbed a copy of it. Slug sitemap products1.xml. I get the feeling it's like a race condition here because this file is definitely showing up in the correct place. I don't think this should make a difference, but maybe it will. What if we add a sleep? No. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've had too much coffee today or not enough. There we go. Okay, oh, that sucks. Get rid of that. That, and we want to replace it with that. Whatever. Fixtures. And then okay, so now we're going to get a failure on the JSON, which is fine because we haven't done that part yet. So now we can say this fetch product JSON vendor path. Fetch product JSON. Vendor string path. Okay, so we now want to say product JSON equals HTTP GET. I guess we're probably going to want to get the first item out of that product XML. So we're going to have to parse it, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. Because we don't have to actually go get it anywhere, I don't think. Sitemap parser. In fact, I'm sure I did this in the other command that I made. Fetch test data from store. Okay, so okay. So I was requesting an actual URL of a product. Okay, so that's not going to work. So let's close that. We want the test add Shopify store test. Okay, so we need to. Now, can we parse from a string? So those are all URLs. It's all middleware. That's not what I want. I want to just pass it an actual local sitemap parser. Okay, let's do it the old-fashioned way. That's not going to work either. We can't even look at the first one. Well, parse. There's got to be another one that we can easily do this. Parse a sitemap documents. That is very old. No. Classes, blah, blah, blah. PHP sitemap XML. PHP sitemap crawler. PHP sitemap crawler. No longer in development. Fantastic. Yeah, these are all. Okay, so let's just PHP parse XML. Simple XML parser. Oh, there's actually a built-in one, even better. Apparently I've used it before, I don't even remember. Parser, blah, blah, blah. Chunked parsing, we don't even care about chunking. Okay, so we're going to say fetch product JSON. So we need the what is this going to be? Actually, okay, so undo that. What we really want to do is we want to this fetch product URIs, and we're going to say we're going to pass it in the vendor and the let's just do the sitemap. So sitemap equals that, and then what are we going to return back from here? This is going to return back a string of the sitemap. return sitemap contents. Okay, so now we will go like this. I hate that. Function fetch product URIs. And it's going to take a vendor sitemap and it's going to return an array. And we will use destructuring to say what we want. We want the product JSON URI, the product HTML URI. So we'll return these product JSON URI. Yep. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is parse this sitemap and get the first XML or the first product out of there. So let's just go XML equals simple XML load string sitemap. Yep. And let's just DD out of that to see what we get. Don't care about that error because it doesn't matter. Pardon me. Where are we actually erroring? All right, well, product, yeah, whatever. Okay, so we should get a DD. XML parse entity ref no name. Well, that sucks. Line 553. Okay, so if we go to sitemap products, I'm guessing it's the and sign that's throwing it off. It's got to be. Yep. Okay, so we are going to have to escape it somehow. If false, fail loading XML, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we can load it from file. Okay, even better. So how do we want to do this? Path. Products one. We're gonna crap out again. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. Okay, load file. Load file. Yeah, so that's still the same and escaping issue. Okay, is there a more loose XML parser? Probably not. Is there a way we can fake it? Because we can't assume product will be in the name. What we could assume, and I think this is a valid assumption to make based on what we're seeing here, is that Shopify structures their URLs without a slash at the end. So we can look, because it's putting the home page on a slash and not having one on the loc on a product. So I think for right now, we're just going to get that. So let's go like this. How do we want to do this? Fetch product URIs. So local sitemap equals path dot sitemap products one. Yep. So we can use the file facade. Use file. Is it that? I thought there was a file in the file system. Yeah, that is more what I'm thinking. Undefined method get. Fantastic. Laravel. I thought there was a file helper. No, that's not what I want either. Okay, I guess I'm just going to do file get contents. File get contents. Local sitemap. Again, just want to make sure that we're getting the contents here. Cool. Okay, and so now we will preg match on. Okay, so I swear to God, I'm gonna give up Vim because of this stupid shit. Okay, preg match. Do we have that stuff here already? Just tailor it to what we want. So instead of that, we are going to want anything that does not have a slash. And that is not how you do a not. So go to our trusty friend regex. Regex 101. Okay, so we do not want the slash there. So what is the not? I can never remember. Is there... Is it an exclamation mark? No. Substitution, no. Character class missing closing bracket. Right. And this is going to be, I want to make sure this is greedy. Cool. Cool. So now we have a, oh, it's not, why is it skipping the last character? So you can see here, so it's capturing the whole, or it's seeing the whole line, and then it's skipping the last character on each of these. So like the L is missing from the capture group, the S is missing from this capture group. So why is that? Do I need to put this in here? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so stabilizers, yep. If we want to be real explicit, no, whatever. And go like that, and so we should just have a bunch of URLs here. Yep, okay, cool. So we can take this and paste that in. Sitemap content. Yeah, I honestly like I love the I love regex. It's just I haven't used it in a while, so I'm a little rusty. Rapid is asking what's the beeping in the background. That is my space heater because I am in the basement and it is freezing cold in here. And hopefully tomorrow we have an electrician coming out here to put my office on its own circuit. But when my mother-in-law, who also lives here, when she uses the microwave, if she uses it and my heater's on, it blows the breaker. So we have to turn it on and off. Thankfully it's wireless, so it's she can turn it off when she's about to make food or whatever. But yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so we want to say so product JSON URI equals matches.one JSON. Yep, we'll double check that. Products, yep, beautiful. And then product HTML URL. We don't need the .html, it's just going to be that. And this, to make it explicit, product HTML URI. Okay, so now we should have all of the things. So if we dd this fetch product URIs. What is it? Vendor path. We should get two URLs. One with a .json, one without, exactly. Okay, awesome. So that is now working. And then we want to fetch the product JSON so we can product JSON URI. And we're going to want the path. Do we even need the vendor? I don't think we do. I don't even think we need it for the previous one. We do not. Okay, so fetch product JSON. It's taking in the path. So this is going to be a string of the path and the string of the product JSON URI. Okay, so we can now say product JSON equals HTTP GET, yep, of the product JSON URI and the body. And we want to file put contents path product.json product JSON. Do we have a working test? Attempted request to that failed. Okay, that's cool. Because we are going to update our fixture to now only be what we want. So we're just going to keep those, and we're going to go DG and URL set. Yep. And then this will just be example.com. Yank that. HTTP response. File get contents. Provide product JSON. Sure. Okay, and so that file doesn't exist right now, so we will go make it. Product.json. And we'll go get some JSON. It's fine. Paste that in. I don't care about it being pretty right now, so this can be closed. That can be saved. This products can be saved. Attempted to request to JSON without a matching fake. Did I not type it correctly? Products. Oh. .json. Cool. Failed asserting that false is true. Awesome. Now we're just on the last one. We just need to get the HTML. This fetch product HTML path product HTML URI. And we're just going to duplicate this. Ink. And this should fail now because there's no matching fake. That's fine. So we can, yep. Yeah, exactly. You just heard it. That was my space heater kicking back on. Okay, file get contents exactly because it doesn't exist. That's fine. So now we will just go like this. And we will just, how do we want to do this? I guess view page source, sure. HTML, okay. And if we run our tests, we should have passing tests. Okay, got to get an action. No, we have a furnace in the house, but because of my wife's health issues, we can't have it on very much because she's really sensitive to heat. Plus, in this room specifically, the heat just like doesn't reach here very well. Like, if I don't have the space heater running, like it sits at like 58 or 59. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, the furnace is literally right behind that door, but there's no airflow in my office, so I have to have a space heater, otherwise I'll freeze to death. Okay. So we have our tests that confirm that we have the vendor in the database and the fixtures being saved. The last thing we need to do, how cold is it outside? Let's take a look. It is currently 2 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is. 2C. So it's 35 Fahrenheit outside right now. Yeah. Welcome to my life. It was minus 45 with the wind chill last week, like not just this past week, but the week before. And minus 40 is the crossover where Fahrenheit and Celsius are the same. So yeah, it's been kind of chilly. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is, so we've got the raw data. So we've got the JSON, we've got the HTML. The last thing we want to do is we want to basically, and this is going to, we're not going to do exactly this, but I'll show you generally what I'm thinking and where my head is at, and then we can kind of go through it. Pardon me, datasets. So I'll just close these for now. So in this file, I have like an array of arrays with like the name, the site, the fakes, the product, and the sitemap. And then at the end, we're using Pest's dataset function to create a dataset out of these. So what we can, and the purpose for this is I want to be able to run, like when we run our tests, I want to ingest all of this data and run our tests against all of the test data that we have without having to continually add data to a file like this. So I want to basically create a file that can be read by PHP, ingested, like read as an array, and added to its own array that can then be cycled through. So that way the tests themselves are dynamic. And as we add more vendors, we'll automatically get the tests out of it, because a file similar to this will be populated automatically every time we add a vendor. Let's see here. If we go, how do I want to do this? So let's go add Shopify store test. So last thing we want to do is test data is saved to disk, and then we want to expect, and we're going to say file exists, get CWD, sorry, tests fixtures Shopify, because we're going to have a bunch of these files. Shopify datasets. Do we have this slugged anywhere? No, we don't. I'm just going to add this here so it's a little cleaner. Store slug equals this store URI slugged. Then we can go like this. This store slug. I don't know why it's not because I don't have a semicolon there right now. So now if I write this, okay, cool. So we want to say datasets, this store slug. Do I think the endpoints will be up to date? Probably not, but that's I'm aiming to have the actual, like a kind of a test server up probably by tomorrow. I probably won't stream that part because there's a lot of like setting up API keys and stuff, and you're just going to see a lot of my face without any actual like coding. So I'll work on getting that stuff set up for tomorrow, and then I'll just private message you later on Discord and give you the endpoint stuff. So that's my goal. I don't know if I'll actually be able to get it done tomorrow, but that's what I'd like to do. This store slug dot PHP. And so the idea is in this Shopify folder, there's going to be a subfolder called datasets, and then each company each vendor will have its own like little file with an array of that same kind of data that we were looking at here. And so we will, and we'll test the formatting of what that file is going to look like in a minute, but right now I just want to make sure that it's even creating a file of any description. So to be true. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We want to, pardon me, add Shopify store. And so after we run that command, we also want to this, how do we want to do this? We want to, oh, thanks, man. This, create data set file, create data set. And so we are going to need the vendor name, and we are going to need, actually, I think that might be all we need, because if we look here at the original one, this is all pulled from that's in the vendor, that's in the vendor, that's in the vendor. No, but we can generate that from the vendor. That is from the vendor, and the fakes are all from the vendor as well. So I think we're actually golden if we just pass it the vendor. So let's kind of hack on this for a second. So if we go function, create dataset. So we're going to say vendor. And I don't think it needs to return anything. Okay, so what do we need? We want to say vendor data equals data. It's actually not what I want. Vendor equals okay, that's fine. So we're just going to build out the structure here of this array. So we're going to have Vim, I hate you so much. Like, why is it jumping when I hit tab to a different part of the file? I don't get that. I'm in insert mode, I hit tab and it jumps somewhere else. I don't get it. Just don't get it. So the name is going to be the vendor name. See, again, jumps to a different part of the file, and a different part too, like not even the same part. I'm going to close this buffer and try it again. Add Shopify store. If anyone watching has any suggestions on how not to punch Vim in the face, I'm all ears. See, and now tab works fine. I don't get it. Okay, so what do we need? We need the site URL. Is it site URI that I called it? Okay, let's use the proper website URI is the vendor website URI. So everything else is going to be either fakes or auto-generated. So we're going to have to come back to this for a minute. So we want to say there's going to be an array of HTTP fakes that we're going to need to generate for each of these. And we're also going to need the sitemap URI. No, because we're already saving it, so that's the right one. And I think there was one other thing here that I had. Oh, the product URL, right. In fact, I don't even know if we need that yet. Okay. Okay, so how much of this can we copy? It would be great if we could copy all of it. that. Paste that in. And then for keys.ca is going to be vendor website URI. Cool. And actually, we can even make this simpler by doing sitemap URI. No, we're gonna. This one is going to be the one I'm thinking of. Sitemap URI. Yank that. Oh, okay, let's go with site map. Oh, actually, you know, definitely going to be product 1. Vendor slug equals string vendor name slug. Yep. Man, my brain is not functioning at full capacity here yet today, apparently. Okay, so where were we? We're over here, worrying about the site maps. So fixtures, this is now going to say vendor slug. So in theory, let's just run one of these tests and see what we get. Okay, so we get name, test store. Okay, so that's going to have to be wrapped in quotes. So let's fix that. Okay. Okay, so we got name, test store, URL, HTML fakes, HTTP fakes. So we're getting test store. Okay. Sitemap products. Example product. Yep. Okay. So if we, that is not what I wanted to do. File, put contents, and we get cwd / tests / fixtures / Shopify / datasets / vendor slug dot PHP. Oh, I guess I should actually put some contents in there. Vendor data. And the other thing we need to do is make this PHP, so we can say array equals undefined variable. I do not want to define variable array, so it's file put contents, no such file or directory. Okay, so we need to make that folder. If path if not file exists path, make dir path, yep. Then we can dot vendor slug dot PHP. Okay, let's try that. Make dir no such file or directory. Oh. Test fixtures Shopify datasets. Okay, so that should be correct. Test fixtures Shopify datasets. Failed asserting that false is true. Why? None of that changed. Failed asserting that false is true. Why is it failing on the first one now? Oh my god. No, that's correct. Test fixtures, store slug. File get contents segment. Yeah, I'm not trying to run those tests. Shopify stores. Oh, it's because it's a data set, so it's going to try and execute it before the tests. What's the error again? My stores line 9. Okay, we're just going to delete this entire thing. And dataset data. Right, because it has to be 2 levels deep. Dataset, Shopify stores data. Okay, so why is it failing? Tests, fixtures, test store. Test fixtures, store slug. So sitemap products 1.xml. I would argue that that does exist. And if we delete it even, it should come back. It does. So why is that not? Just DD this out. What does it think it is? Test fixtures, example.com. That is not what we want. Store name. There we go. Okay, so all the tests are passing. Okay, so now we have some data sets creating. So data sets should have test store. Yep. Okay, so we need to add a semicolon at the end of that. So let's go like this. Test. Generated data set data is valid, is a valid array. Sure. Expect. Copy this for now, and again, we will make this better, but for now, I'm okay with this. Actually, no. So what we need to do is we need to delete that. And we want to say ingested data equals, I think we can just go like this. Dataset file. So we're going to say dataset file equals file get contents. No, that's not what we want. Yeah, it is. We want the get contents of that file. No, that's not what we want. We want to include that file. And expect that our ingested data is an array. Oh, and I think we have to do like is array. Because Pest doesn't have a to be array. To be true. So this is going to fail because it's missing this missing semicolon. Yep. So if we go to our add Shopify store command where it's doing all this stuff, we need to do that. Do we have a working array now? Unexpected token. Oh, because we're not a. Oh, and this needs to be fixed. So there's a bunch of different stuff there. Okay. Let's hide this, put this over here. And so we can get rid of, oops. D3L, DW, D3L, DW, D3L is not it. Okay, let's try this test now. We are getting there. File get contents, sitemap, XML, failed to open stream. Okay. Okay, so where are we failing here? Test store 6. Oh, right, because we have to fake out the products. Okay, so we actually need to figure out what the products are in this data set. So we need to go, how do we want to do this? Product. Product JSON URI, product HTML URI. And so we will accept those in. String product HTML URI. And then these will be product HTML URI. Product JSON URI. Thanks, Jafar. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry I missed you leaving, but yeah, thanks for joining. It was awesome. And so last thing we need to do is vendor slug, product HTML, product JSON. Okay. What else is broken? What are we doing? So what we are doing is we're hacking on a website that I'm in the process of building. It's called thoc.gg, and it's an aggregator of mechanical keyboard parts and where they are in stock on various Shopify shops across the internet. Basically, the problem that we're trying to solve is there's so many sites out there that sell these different parts, but most of them are not in stock. So we want to give people who are either new to the hobby or just want to save some time a quick way to find what they're looking for without having to go through 10,000 different stores. They can just come to our site and it'll show which stores they're in stock at with some picture data, whatever, and they can quickly get to that site. Test store. Sitemap.xml, is that not what it's, are we not saving that one? Oh, right, because this. Okay, so actually, I guess we're not saving the core sitemap. So we should probably do that. Fetch product URI, fetch product sitemap. So sitemap content. Okay, and so we're also going to want to, how do we want to do this? So here is where we're getting the main sitemap. So in theory, we can just go like file, put contents, sitemap, and not that path. We'll be better about that. But let's go path dot slash sitemap dot xml. And is there anywhere where we're calling this where we already know this? Vendor product sitemap. Product specific sitemap URL. Sitemap. Am I going crazy? Fetch product sitemap. So at this point, we don't know the sitemap. Okay, so, we don't know the path. So get product specific sitemap URI. Let's think about this. So the base path is just going to be this is going to get ugly. Okay, so we can say down here, string name, and then so all we need to do, again. Okay, so let's do some stuff here. Let's go like this. Public store slug equals, we will define this as a string, and let's go like this. This store slug equals string of name Hey, Byte Factory. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's annoying as hell. And it's like, you have this idea in your head of like this build that you want to make. And it's like, no matter where you look, no one has anything in stock. So yeah, I feel like this has a lot of promise. And so, yeah, I think there's a real, a real benefit to this site existing if we can actually make it happen. And so in here, let's just vendor slug, and we'll make this vendor store slug. Cool. Okay, and so where else are we using slug here? I feel like we did more than just that. Okay, well, for right now, it's fine. So get cwd /tests fixtures no tests, yeah, fixtures this store slug sitemap. Oh my goodness. Find variable slug, vendor slug. Did I not do that for all of them? Vendor slug. Okay, I've got to be taking crazy pills. Where else is this happening? What? But why? I'm doing all of them, am I not? This store slug. This store slug. This store slug. No such file or directory. Okay, so which file is it failing on? Test fixtures, Shopify, datasets. Oh, right. Okay, so we are... Illustrating that false is true. Okay, so what do we get when we say ingest the data? One. Well, that's not helpful. Okay, so I was looking at this the other day, and what did I do? So if we include, yeah, that's not how. Because what it's doing is it's like including it, and just the one is like it's basically true, like a truthy statement. And so there's a thing, I'm trying to remember, is it require? Nope. Okay, so the array is being created correctly. That's good. Okay. I was just, pardon me. Oh, I bet you it's, no, I don't even have to do that. So I can just say include dataset file. Because there's nothing there. Okay, cool. So now we can pull this one array out of here. And so what we can do is, okay, so now we can delete this, and we can say is array. Okay, so what do we want to say? I think we want, cool. Okay, so we have a working array. The next thing we need to do is write a data, like a proper actual Pest data set that ingests all of the data sets that we know of to create its own kind of master data set to be dynamic. So for example, if we go into Shopify stores, the idea is going to be something to the effect of, so like get all the files in Shopify datasets, all the PHP files in Shopify datasets, and read them or use include filename.php to read their contents, append the contents to data. So that's basically what we're trying to do here now is, okay, so in this PHP file, so we're going to define data, and then we're going to say for, actually, how do we do this? PHP get all files in a directory, sure. Scan-dir, yep. Okay, so if we say data sets equals scan-dir get cwd dot slash tests slash fixtures Shopify datasets. And what's the, okay, so just print files, and it's just an array of files. Okay, so scanned or sort descending. Okay, so is there a way to skip? Okay, perfect. Scanned right here. We can just copy and paste this right out of here. This is awesome. That's what we're looking for. Okay, that's a lot of extra spacing, so let's clean this up a little bit. So if it's not dot or dot dot, and if it's a dir, we don't even care. So we can say d10d result equals value. Okay, so we now have so we don't even need to do that. We can just say we want to include what are we trying to say? Include, actually let's go like this. Path, include path dot sure there's a slash at the end there, dot value, and we want to data equals array, because they're all going to be called array in each of these files. So it's going to loop through all those, and now it's going to add, let's go like dd data. And there's about a 1% chance that I got this right, but if we did, for each must be to type array object null given. Okay, what are we doing wrong here? For each data set, that's fine, but that's not the test I want. It's this one. Okay, cool. So the best part about this now is we can add as many of these data sets as we want. And in there will be an array of arrays, each of which are going to have an entire store's worth of data in here. So now we can be super, dynamic about generating our test suite. And as we add more sites, our test suite naturally just gets bigger. And so the awesome part is that we can now, I just want to close all of these, I think. And let's go to, okay, so Shopify stores, that's the thing that we just did. So let's delete that. Shopify store test. Okay, so we're going to run the entire test suite. A lot of them are going to fail for sure, but that's okay because we just need to go and update the tests. Okay, so we don't need to DD that out. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of failed tests because it's expecting some data that it is not going to be there. That's okay. So Shopify product test. Shopify product test. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of annoying because we're not going to have this stuff yet. Okay, so actually I'm going to leave this test for now because I might have to go back and fix that. Same thing, beaver keys. Yeah, so this is the one the test that I'm concerned about because it's using the old API of the old Shopify stores array that I was using. So it's expecting 5 arguments. We're only providing 4. So, okay, let's look at Shopify store test. Shopify store test. Okay, so it's looking for a name, a site URL, fakes, product URL, and sitemap URL. So let's look at what we're actually giving it now. Shopify stores. And this can go here. Okay, so, oh, right, that's not going to be in there anymore. So we need to look at the command, not that one. One day I will learn how to type. Today is not that day, apparently. So we're going name, site URL, fakes, sitemap URI. Okay, so if we run this test now, does it pass? Yep. And then there's 2 in Shopify get data test. So Shopify get data test. Okay, so name, site URL, fakes, product URL. Shopify get data, product URL. Okay, so we'll have to fix this test to how do we want to do this? So this will actually be HTTP fakes 3, but that's not going to work because it's indexed as the path. Ugh. I guess we can just go like this. URIs. Go like product, URIs, JSON. Product URIs. JSON. And this is going to be product JSON URI, and HTML. It's going to be the product HTML URI. Okay, why is this failing? Array of product URLs. It's going to be product URLs, and I believe it's the HTML one that we want. This test. Okay, what is not happy here? Decided it's not going to format. That's fantastic. Well, let's run this test and see what it says. Test expects 5 argument, dataset only provides 4. For each HTTP fakes. Store test. So we should be able to say before each of these tests, Right. Yeah, we're gonna have to call Artisan to actually make sure that there's stuff in there. Because right now, if we go into the datasets, it's still the old stuff. So, close that test, close this, and we want to go add Shopify store test. So we want to yank that and paste it. No such file or directory, Shopify stores. No such file, tests, datasets, Shopify stores. Oh. Why is it trying to use that old one? Because that is not correct. Why is it failing by looking at that? Scander failed to open directory, no such file. Test dataset on line 5. Because I'm running it through Vim. Test store 13. Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's a little bit better. At least it's not crapping out in the same place. Okay, so attempted to request example.com sitemap. Photo matching fake. Okay, so did we add those in this other test? We must have. Yes, we did. Sitemap URL must be of type string because this is going to be in the wrong order, I bet. Array of product URLs. This time we want the JSON one. Attempted to request JSON without a matching fake. Why is it trying to access that? Shopify get test 42. Okay, let's see what else we got. File get contents, products, no such streamer. Yeah, okay. So these other tests, these are like hard-coded ones that I'd created before, so I'll go back and fix those. But basically we have like a fully available command where we can say like, so art, what do we call it? Add a store Shopify. So we'll call this one dynamically. That's not how you spell that. Dynamically. I'll say dynamically. Actually, you know what? I'm going to refresh the entire database. Art, migrate, fresh, seed. That's not how you do that. Art, migrate, fresh. I'm not even going to seed it. Okay, so we'll say dynamically and keys.com. That is taking a very long time. Okay, so what failed? Failed to connect to dynamically. Oh, is it dynamically? Oh, dynamically. Okay. So dynamically. Key.com. Failed to open stream. Okay, well that sucks. No such file or directory. Oh, because we're not testing if the folder exists first. Okay, let's fix that. And then on a future stream, we will definitely work on refactoring this stuff, but this is really good. So we're going to say if not, actually I'm going to go delete that. We're going to say path equals that if no file exists path, make dir path, and then path. Okay, let's try this one more time. dynamically.com. Cool. And if we go into SQL Ace, under vendors, we have the vendor here, the vendor entry with the sitemap URI. That should be the products one. Beautiful. And then if we go into our file browser here, under fixtures, we now have dynamically with their product, a JSON, their core sitemap, and their sitemap product. So now every time we run the tests, it's going to run the tests, and actually, to make it a little more specific, I won't run them in parallel. So you can see, if we go here, so it's testing the test store that we made originally. It's also testing dynamically. And as we add more stores, this test suite itself is going to get bigger and more robust, because every time we test it, we'll be checking to make sure that this is actual, that our tests will work against whatever the site was when we first spidered it. So it gives us a little more confidence that what we're doing is correct. So let's go back to our checklist here. So it pulls the fixture yep, saves data that. Write a function to read all the Shopify data sets. Yep. Update to use that function for tests. Yep. Haven't updated the seeder. Have not run the seeder. Have not started crawling. Okay. It's about 10 to 9 p.m. here locally. So I think I'm going to take off and get some dinner because I'm pretty hungry. But I just want to thank you guys for joining me on this ride. It was awesome. I love the back and forth like always. I'll probably be streaming in the next few days, hopefully, maybe on Tuesday afternoon. I usually go to yoga on Tuesday night, so it won't be an evening stream, but if you watch my socials, I'll be posting on there. Again, if you check out our our Discord, which is here on our, the link is on our website, thok.gg. You can check out when I'll be streaming next, and I'll keep that all up to date. Again, yeah, just thank you guys very much for joining. This has been awesome. We made a ton of progress, and I will see you on the next stream. Later.